It looks like it's recording now. Um, apparently it ran out of space wherever this recording goes. So I do apologize for losing that first half. But let's see, hopefully this will make it. Where we left off was the weighted average method. In your packet, the next method that we will do is the FIFO method. Now it talks about the FIFO method a little bit within the chapter, but the majority of it, this is on page 286, is done in the appendix of the chapter. FIFO means first in, first out, but what the big difference is it separates our work and cost beginning from the current. So basically it adds a little more complexity to our computation. And again, we're going to use that same problem, 45, but change it for a FIFO method computation. So on your next page, or your template page, page 3, there should be a problem 45 FIFO method. So what has stayed the same? Everything in step 1 here is the same as the weighted average. Step 1 is the same. So that physical flow, that whole unit computation is the same whether you use weighted average or FIFO. Where the change occurs then is here in step 2, coming up with our equivalent units, step 2. So, looking at the report, then I want you to write this down. Started and complete. Started and completed. To finish, beginning with. And then finally a third, ending with. So under the FIFO method, we cannot mix current with beginning units. So that's the big change here from the weighted average. The weighted average, we combined the started and completed with the beginning and called it completed units. So under the weighted average, we didn't have these three, we just had the word, or these two, we just had the word completed. So looking at step 1, how many units did we start? This is a wrong number. Oh my gosh. Change this number, guys. 43.4? Is that what you guys have? I hope. No. Change the 25.6 to 43.4. 43.4 plus the 10 gives me the 53. So of the 53,400 units completed, 10,000 of those were from beginning units. The others, the 43.4, was the started and completed. So that's the number I want to start with, 43.4. Again, in step 2, I will multiply by a percent, 100%, to come up with my equivalent units of production, 43.4. Now, my beginning units, how many did I have in beginning inventory? 10,000. This is the hard part now. How much effort was used to finish those units? Going back to the problem 45.
20%,
Michelle, why did you say 20?
because they were already 80%.
Yes. Very good. Excellent job. The author told us those beginning units last month were 80% done. So in the current month, how much more effort? 20 more to get it to 100, right? What do we call that? We call that the complement. This is the only time you will ever use a complement percentage to compute an equivalent unit. This is never done under the weighted average method. So this gives us 2,000. How many units were in ending WIP? 36. How complete were they? 60%. Remember again, that was the effort done this month, right? We just didn't finish them. 21.6. We get 76,000? How much do we get?
67.
67,000. That's my ending number. That's my ending number for EOP. That's step 2. 67,000. What did we have under the weighted average method?
75.
75, didn't we? In step 2? Yep. But remember, to get to the 75, that was some of last month's effort, right? That doesn't mean that weighted average, it shows that they produced more. That doesn't show that. It's just that we're mixing beginning with the current. The 67 is actually what was done in the current period. How much effort was completed. All right, we'll go to our unit cost, step 3 computation. Current cost. What is my current cost under the FIFO method? We can't mix beginning with current. So what is my current cost? How much?
124.
124. Under FIFO method, we never include in our cost per unit costs that have the beginning cost in it, just the current cost only. So 124 divided by 67,000 EOPS is it one something?
185.
185, does that come out perfectly?
No.
No. Okay, that's good. Because we'll encounter a problem here now. $1.85 per EOP. What did we have under the weighted average method?
232.
232. So what does that mean? 232 versus 185. We must have did better this period than we did last period, basically. With weighted average method, you kind of mesh the 2 months together, or 3, whatever the combination is. Whereas here, we're only looking at the current month. So something happened this month that actually our cost came down. So now in step 4, to get our answers for question 2, how much was split between the two? under the FIFO method, again, we have to start with start and completed units to finish beginning WIP. And we can't forget our beginning WIP cost. So there's actually three amounts here that we got to combine together to get our cost transferred out. So how many units did we start and complete?
43,400.
Yep. 43,400 times what?
185.
The dollars now. So now we're switching from, yes, we're switching from our units to cost, right? So $1.85. Is how much?
80,290.
How many units did we have for beginning WIP to finish them?
2,000.
2,000. Excellent, Michelle. Times the same.
3,700.
And then how much was cost in our beginning to start with?
50,000.
50. So now I gotta add all three numbers together to get our amount of transferred out cost, 133,990. Cool. Ending units, pretty straightforward. We've got our equivalent units in ending WIP, which is how many?
21,600.
21.6 times $1.85. How much do we get there?
39,960.
And here's the problem. Now when I do step 5, which is the reconciliation, I add the two together and I don't get to 174. What do I get to?
173,950.
Difference of $50, right?
Mhm.
Versus the 174. That's due to rounding. Remember with the $1.85? That was a rounded answer. So you will get dollar differences in the reconciliation. It could be as high as $200, $300, $400 if you're dealing with bigger numbers. So don't panic as long as you're within that range. And we're not going to adjust any of the amounts for the $50 rounding error in this case. It's just the author just basically leaves it alone.
In real life? what do
In
you
real
do?
life, good, I was hoping you would ask that, Tom. In real life, it would go with which number? The transferred out, which is the bigger number. The 50 would go with that number.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Good question. What do you think? I think we actually got to do a template, don't you? I think we're ready. Let's look at the 5 steps using. I got a clean